Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I'm Sarah, I'm married to Mark, and we have 10 kids total, and we are talking about this little cutie, the baby, not that one. The baby is going to come on the screen in a minute. That is Elisha. He is 6 months old now. So if you haven't been following our channel, we have 10 kids total, but 8 still in the home, and Elisha is just a joy to be around. His next oldest brother is 3. He's the one you just saw playing with blocks. But Elisha is learning all the things that a 6-month-old is supposed to be learning. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about child development in this video. I found out recently that some people don't know that babies actually explore the world around them with their mouth. They're able to control their mouth better than they're able to control their hands. And your mouth has a lot of sensory input and everything. So when babies are chewing on things, it's not because they're ready for food. It's not because they are teething. It's because they're exploring the world around them. And so make sure you only give them things that are big enough that they're not going to take off small pieces. Don't give them things like paper or paper towels because they'll chew pieces off of those. But that's what they're doing, is exploring the world. He has gotten to the point that when you put him on the ground, he likes to push himself up. For people who don't know, babies tend to roll first from their front to their back. And then after they've mastered that, they roll from their back to their front. These all kind of overlap, but they roll from their back to their front. But once they do the back to front flip and they get that really well, the next thing is this pushing up that you're seeing him doing. And they tend to not roll very much any longer from their front to their back because they now have a new way to explore the world. This is what happens a lot during the day. We have a lot of sleeping that goes on, and that's okay. That's what babies are supposed to do. A lot of their day is taken up by naps because the amount of brain work that they are doing from all of that sensory input from exploring the world around them wears them out, and your brain recovers and grows during those times of sleep. So we also do a lot of nursing. When babies are little, they should be getting all of their nutrition, ideally from breast milk. I know that doesn't always work, but ideally from breast milk. And if you are a new mom, when you first have babies, you will feel like they are nursing all the time. It does space out. So now that he's 6 months old, he has long periods of play between the nursings. But when he nurses, he is getting all the nutrition he needs. I am still exclusively nursing, and this guy is growing and doing all of the things that he should be doing. I know some people aren't able to keep their milk supply that long, but it has worked for me, and he is growing well. This is Big Brother Samuel. He loves interacting with his siblings. Babies love to explore faces. They love to explore the world around them. And so if you give them lots of interaction, talking to them, I know that we have a much busier household than some people do, and that's okay. He's got a lot of things to explore just from his siblings being down on the floor with him and stuff. But also, talking to your babies is super, super important. So when I had just my little ones, or, just one baby at home, or just little ones, I did a lot of talking through my day as we did stuff. I kept baby very, very close. So baby was either in the sling or I was holding them. And just as you go through your day, hey, baby, we're going to go make muffins. Oh, let's get out the flour. Oh, I have to get a measuring spoon. Oh, look, we'll get the green bowl. It's not that they're going to talk back to you, but all of those words are helping them and their brains to grow. So lots and lots of floor time. You'll notice in this video that we don't really have containers for babies because babies are supposed to learn to move and explore by being down on the ground and by being up in people's arms where their body can learn, like when Samuel had him just a minute ago standing up on him. They're supposed to be able to be growing all of those muscles. And when you're putting them in, yes, put them in car seats when you're in the car. That's very important to keep them safe. But if you're leaving them in car seats in the house, one, it's not safe because of the sleeping position, but also they're not able to move their bodies in the way that they need to move them. Babies who are left on the floor to move around, or like in a playpen type thing, a flat area, they are working those muscles that they're supposed to be working that are going to help them with the crawling and the sitting up. You're not going to have to do things to make them crawl or learn to walk eventually. They're just going to work those muscles enough to do it. When you put them in like a baby walker or a stander of some sort, it is putting a false sense of security that they actually can stand when those muscles can't actually do the work yet. Also, they are not in a good position for their hip growth and all of that. All this time on the floor when he's pushing with his feet, it's actually giving sensory input into his brain that's going to help him later with reading. It's going to help him later with being able to have like math skills and creative skills. That's all gained by these first exposures to helping his brain learn to grow. They do so much growing in their first 2 years of life. He loves books. Books are very important for kids of all ages, whether you are reading them a book. I have a friend whose baby's in the NICU right now, and she reads him books all the time. Eating books is what he's trying to do right now. Seeing all those colors. They don't need babies don't need like TV with flashy moving things. We have flashy moving children all around, but they really just being able to sit and focus on something, look at things. There he is. He likes to explore the phone if somebody's trying to take his video, but he loves sitting with his daddy. Babies at this age also tend to have one caregiver that is their like go-to, and that is usually mom because they spent 9 months inside mom. But they also have another person that they tend to gravitate to if mom is not available. And in our family, that is dad. That should be dad if there's a dad in the family, but babies are close to mom because they need them for emotional regulation. Babies don't know how to emotionally regulate things. If you've ever seen a baby, like he is just now starting to sit up. This is a couple days after this video was taken. If he falls over, he will look to me as like, how am I supposed to react to that? And if you're like, oh baby, let's sit up, there tends to not be crying if there's not an actual hurt. But if they fall over and mom's like, oh no, and gets worried about it, baby tends to start crying, even if there's not a hurt involved. I'm not saying that when a baby falls down and gets hurt, it is wrong for them to cry. I'm not saying that. But they look to you with, how am I supposed to react in this situation? I've never been in this world before. You have. What am I supposed to do? So in our family, because he's around people all the time, he has a few go-to care people that he likes, but he still comes back to mom. I was listening to an interesting podcast this morning. It was talking as they get older, like right now he's starting to get to the point that he's starting to crawl away a little bit. But even when they get to the toddling stage, they tend to go a little ways and then they come back and check in with mom for that emotional regulation. And that attachment helps them throughout life to know within those first 3 years that my world is safe, and it needs to be they need to have this repeated over and over. It's not just we spent a good week where I was always available to him and he realized that this is how the world goes. It's going back and forth all the time. Okay, there you saw the socks off. Babies get a lot of input through their feet. So if you can keep their feet available, like right here, he's in a sleeper because he's going to bed. I want to keep him warm for the night. But during the day, if you can keep socks off of him, putting him on the floor, putting your baby on the floor, they can get sensory input that they're supposed to have so that they can learn walking. There's a lot of baby reflexes that their bodies work out through that movement on the floor, and they need to be able to feel their feet to be able to do it. Also, if they're in a sleeper and they're on a slippery surface, they can't push themselves forward where they can if they don't have their socks on. So again, a lot of sleep, a lot of being close. You'll notice in these videos, he's always with people. That's how babies want to be, is with their family.